everyone, it's me, Ask Miss Cris. I am here to bring you another Crochet with Cris tutorial. Today's tutorial is on how to do a single crochet foundation chain, or what's sometimes called a single crochet base chain. Now this is not something that I do very often. I have probably used it just a couple times in the last year, but it's actually something that's very helpful to have in your crochet bag of tricks in case you come across a pattern that you want to do that asks you to start with a single crochet foundation chain, or if you are coming up with a pattern of your own and you're looking for something a little different. To do this tutorial, you do need to know how to make a slip knot, how to do a chain stitch, and also understand the basic concept of a single crochet stitch, because while you're not going to be finishing one in the traditional sense, you have to understand what it is in order to know when you're done with one count in this tutorial. So let's go ahead and get started. I have my yarn here, and what I'm going to do is I am going to put in a slip knot, and then I'm going to attach in my yarn. And I want to apologize for the quality. I'm struggling with getting my cameras straightened out, and it seems that my flip cam is now dead, and I'm working on getting the lighting and everything appropriate for these videos. So hopefully the quality of the video is good enough that you guys can see everything that's going on. I will most likely be going back and recording a lot of these once I can get a better quality camera and a better setup for videotaping. So with that said, it's like a little bit of maintenance talk there. I have put the slip knot over the hook and I have it attached here. I am using a J hook for this. So what you need to do is you are going to create 2 chain stitches. So there is 1, 2. So now I have 2 chain stitches. In order to do this, let's go ahead and talk about the anatomy of a chain stitch. When you create one, you can see on the front that there is the standard V, the V that you are used to seeing when you're doing any crochet work. But then if you turn it around, if you roll it in your fingers a little bit, you're going to notice that there's this third piece of the chain stitch. It's the hump. That's what I call it. I've also heard it referred to as the spine of the stitch. So it's important to know that there are actually 3 strands that make up the chain stitch, because you're going to be using 2 of these. So now that you've chained 2, you're ready to start creating that first count in your single crochet foundation stitch or chain. So what you need to do is you are going to take your hook and you're going to insert it in the top of the V here and that hump, that other little hidden piece of yarn. This one's a little more difficult because it's really tight up against that slip knot, but if you look for it, you can find it. So to start out, we are going to yarn over and we're going to draw through that chain stitch to where you have 2 loops on your hook. And now you are going to yarn over and you are going to do a chain stitch. So you're only going to go through the first loop that was on your hook, not the second. And now you're going to yarn over, and just like the single crochet, now you're going to pull through both loops to complete that count. So that is 1 single crochet count in your foundation chain. So to do it again, the next stitch is a little easier. You're going to see here's your hook, and then you have your yarn that's going in. There is this piece of yarn, and then this one. This one here is from the chain stitch that you created right before you drew through both loops. So to do the next one, you go through that chain stitch and the back loop, the hump, which it doesn't look so much like a hump anymore, but it is the hump. You're going to yarn over and draw through the first, so you have 2 loops left on your hook. Now you're going to yarn over and do a chain stitch, and now you're going to complete the count for the single crochet by yarning over and drawing through both loops on the hook. As you see, you're building a very sturdy chain here. So let's do another one. The second loop is that chain. You're going to put it through the top loop here and the back hump. Don't forget the back hump. Some people do. And while it will work, it'll just be a little flimsier than what it should be. You're going to yarn over and draw through. You have the 2 loops remaining. Now you're going to yarn over, draw through that next chain. Now you're going to yarn over and draw through both loops. This so far is now a single crochet foundation chain of 3. And you will do this with the end when you draw through both loops. That's when you count it. So if they want 50, you have to go through this procedure 50 times. And that is to go through the chain, hit in that back hump, yarn over, draw through, yarn over and do a chain stitch, and then yarn over and draw through both, and then you can count. And we'll do it one more time. You are going to go through the loop and the bump of the chain stitch, maybe. You're going to yarn over and draw through, yarn over, do the chain, now yarn over and draw through both loops, and that gives you another single crochet. So as you can see, it does begin to take on the appearance of a chain stitch with single crochets in there. So you work it. Once you get to the end, you just do the chain 1 and you work your way back, and you do end up with a very nice sturdy starting chain. Unlike going and chaining 200 and then turning around and struggling to do 199 single crochets on the way back into a nice floppy little chain. But yes, it makes a nice sturdy foundation chain or base chain row. So that's my tutorial today. If you have any questions or comments, please feel to put them down below. Be sure to rate the video. And if you haven't already and you're interested, go ahead and subscribe. I will also put my blog link down in the doobly-doo down there. So you can go there, and I have a lot more tutorials. You can either browse my YouTube channel or go to my blog and search there. I look forward to seeing you all again. Happy crocheting!